This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Friday, October 6, 2023. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's show. In today's episode, I'm going to be joined by Chase Milem with John Deere. He's going to tell us all about the new Series 1 round balers from John Deere. A lot of interesting technology involved in those new pieces of equipment. We will also have a check of the ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
It is Friday, and we're at the end of another trading day, and joined now by Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Curt, what did we see take place in the grains today?
Well, first of all, who do I talk to about switching my days? These Fridays have been brutal. Last Friday, this Friday. I like to switch if I can. But anyway, long story short here, we had some optimism coming into last night's trade. We had the market seeing a little up in fundamental news, a little concern in the Black Sea region, a cargo ship hitting the mine, drone being shot down, a little uncertainty there. Plus, too, this week we had some pretty good buying export news. China was supposedly on holiday, their Golden Week holiday. They'll be back next week, but they purchased some U.S. beans here this week, which is great. Then Mexico was in here buying quite a bit of grain, corn particularly here this week, some fairly large amounts. And if you remember back, Mexico did not want our corn because of some GMO restrictions. But trade kind of felt that we saw that price then being front loaded from the standpoint we're buying it ahead of these restrictions kicking in. So there might not be a whole lot more demand for Mexico here as we go forward. But that was enough to particularly push corn futures up enough to trip some commodity fund buying. We've been sideways here in this December corn for quite some time. We went above some resistance and it kicked in the buy programs and off we go. And so that was kind of welcome. But here, not so fast, bubbly. We saw the market kind of retreat here on, a little bit of hedge pressure and ideas that this world economy is struggling and so forth. There's talk that gas consumption is down. Some economic news might be kind of questionable. So investor confidence kind of limited the buying interest here going into the weekend. Also, too, the market did hit some little short-term upside targets on corn here. But the key thing on corn, we'll talk technical here in a second, is keep an eye on what happens here next week. Columbus Day holiday Monday, there will be a grain market, but there's just not going to be any government reports on Monday. We'll have a lot of those on Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll have the updated harvest progress. Corn was 23% complete as a nation last week. It's expected to be 35% complete this week. Soybeans were 23%. Big bean week. 50% of the beans are expected to be out. Yields are just highly variable. Guys are talking about, I was in a field of beans. They were 80, 85, and went 2 miles down the road. They're 65 bushels. Well, the moral of the story is you should have cut the 65s first, and then you've been pleasantly surprised instead of disappointed. So highly variable, but for the most part, much better than expected compared to where we were in June. A couple guys did some yield checks here in September, felt good about it. And here actually taking some grain out, about the same or a little less, but overall yields continue to be somewhat better than expected. Also, next week, when we come back in here, we're going to have some trade estimates for next Thursday's monthly supply demand report. We'll see what they're looking at on the supply and the demand side of the equation, but we're kind of getting dialed in to a production number here as we move forward. So we're continuing to remove the uncertainty of the marketplace as far as production goes. The key will be demand. You got to remember, demand started 1st of September, and it's a long market year, clear around August 31st. Technically, the corn futures finished up 15 cents for the week. That's the highest close we've had since late August. So that was quite encouraging. We had a new high monthly close. The key technically is kind of watch this 490 level as we get into next week. Negative wise, daily, like I said, Friday, we made a new high and closed a little lower, a little hook reversal down. So we might develop a trading range here as we move forward here for a day or two. Beans down 9 cents for the week. They had a thing going, possibly a higher weekly close, but boom, beans were down 14, 15 cents on the day, down 9 cents on the week, had a little hook reversal down. Wheat, if you remember, wheat had a big washout there last week, but it finished on this low last week. But Chicago wheat finished up 26 cents on the week. So it had a good week from where it was last week. Weather-wise, Brazil, Argentina, for the most part, kind of dry. There's some southern Brazil's a little wet. They're about 5% planted. That'll pick up. But you got to remember, we're in the dry season in that southern hemisphere. As we move forward here, that will pick up over time. So be important to kind of keep an eye on these markets here first part of next week. A lot of harvest activity taking place, and it's coming out fast.
On the other side of the ag marketplace this week, we saw the cattle market with some tough sledding for really the first time in a while. Curt, did that continue here today? What happened with the livestock?
Yeah, on the data scale, it kind of held in there and bounced up as we head into the weekend. The weekly chart shows cattle was only down about $1.12 on the up front here. It kind of went down with support, took out some sell stops, and down we went. We tried to firm back up here, up front here, watch this 184 area. Overall demands, I think, is fairly good. Numbers are still tight. So I think we're going through a correction process in through here. Exports were fair at 13. Hog-wise, hogs finished up $2.12. They kind of hopefully finished their slide in through here. They had a weekly reversal to the upside. They're running into the 20-day moving average for resistance. Big exports. Sold 43. Mexico took 14 of that. And plus 2, we got September out of the way. That was chicken month. Now October, pork month.
Always a big month here in the state of Iowa, that's for sure, with Porktober. Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. What's the best way for our listeners to get in touch, our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
Yeah, Pork October. That's good. 1-800-779-1515. Go to agmarket.net. Click on Intel.
He is Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net, our guest here today. Curt, thank you so much for the time. Have a great weekend.
Take care. You too.
Thank you to Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net for our closing markets here today. It's time now for those closing numbers, courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. December corn down 5.5 at $4.92 even. November soybeans down 14 3/4 at $12.66 even. October soybean meal down 6 even at $3.6760. October soybean oil down 57 cents at $57.29. Chicago wheat down 9 even at $5.98 even. Minneapolis wheat down 11 even at $7.20 1/2. Kansas City hard red wheat down 16 3/4 at $6.73 3/4. March oats down 9 3/4 at $4.42 1/4. On the Merc, December live cattle up $1.30 at $186.67. November feeder cattle up 57 cents at $250.87. December lean hogs up $1.30 at $73.57. December pork cutout up 60 cents at $83.42, and Class 3 milk down a cent at $16.84. And that wraps up our closing market coverage here on Ag Matters PM. It's time now to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association, and the Soy Checkoff. And when we come back, I will be joined by Chase Milem from John Deere. He's going to tell us all about the new Series 1 round balers from John Deere.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
You're watching Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. It's time now to talk with Chase Milem of John Deere as we learn all about the new round balers from John Deere.
Mark Magnuson with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm here today with Chase Milem. We are at Farm Progress Show 2023. We're in Decatur, Illinois, and as you can see behind me, it is the new baler from John Deere. And Chase, why are we so excited about this new baler system?
Yeah, we are excited about the new round baler. So this is our new 1 Series round baler that's really packed with innovative technology for round balers, as well as performance increases that will directly and positively impact our customers' bottom line. And that's what we're really trying to do.
And we've talked a little bit with your colleague Kyle about some of that technology, but let's jump right into it. Let's start with the display.
Yeah, so this is going to come standard with the G5E display. So it's a colored touchscreen display, very intuitive, easy to make adjustments, as well as they're going to get to see their moisture, weight of the round bale, and their net wrap remaining. So they can really understand, okay, I need to go get more net wrap, or I need somebody to bring net wrap to me to see how much remaining in there. And the moisture and the weight's obviously a huge deal, and we can get more into that here in a bit.
And Chase, as we were talking a little bit before we started, you were just moving right down the baler and talking about each of the new interesting pieces of it. So let's go right to the next step. What else are we talking about here with the new baler?
Yeah, our pickup options. So we're coming with a new pickup option with our high capacity. So this is a dual rotor pickup that's really going to increase the capacity or throughput of the round baler. And what we've seen is compared to our mega wide of 80 plus round bales per day. So you can think about that increase in production or operation as they move through the field. They're able to maybe get that field finished before rain comes, or just get home to their family, earlier than they have been in the past.
When farmers hear those numbers and that output, does that make them think this is something that's pretty cool, something that they need to jump on board with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their return on investment is going to come quickly as you're getting 80 plus bales per day additionally compared to the previous mega wide.
So let's just keep moving right along then, Chase, and I'll let you just take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our integrated moisture and weight sensors from the factory. So these are measuring instantaneous moisture and weight of each round bale as they move through the field. So they can make adjustments. They're going to see this right on that G5E display, like I mentioned. They can make those adjustments as they move through the field, whether they need to maybe stop for the day or apply preservative. So if we're thinking about preservative, we've also come with a new preservative option. So this is an option they can apply or have on the round baler. They have a yellow tank up front with preservative, but a key feature is, if you're familiar with our sprayers, they have an exact apply nozzle. So we've taken that tech stack on the sprayer, moved it to the round bale. So it's understanding the moisture of that crop coming through and applying preservatives as they need it. So that data that they're getting, the moisture and the weight, they're going to take that and we're going to offboard it to John Deere Operations Center. So they can see their total field tonnage that they've had either in the off season or the next day, to really see the performance of each field. So they might need to apply different nutrients to that field to increase the production of it. So we've seen some studies show up to $14.50 per acre increase by just changing some of the nutrient practices from the data that they're actually collecting off the field.
And then going back to reading that display and making those real-time quick adjustments, how fast are we talking for the adjustment process?
It's near real time, so I mean, they can make the adjustment very quick on the baler. So they just stop, touch the display, make those adjustments that they need to, and they can move down the field.
And again, that comes back to time is money. You're saving time and keeping moving, only going to be good for the farmer in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. And if we move clear to the back, we now are offering a net lift assist and net lighting option from the factory. So this will be integrated in the machine. So that net lift assist, if you think about picking up 90 to 120 pounds of net roll, several of them per day, that gets tiring on you. Or you might need 2 people to do that, which is definitely a possibility. Net lift assist, it's a 1-person job now. They can take that net round off the ground, lift it up, put it in place, and move forward. And then that net lighting, they're baling in the morning or at night, they can easily see what's going on in the machine.
So you're pumping out all those bales, and then at the same time you get some help on getting the new wraps back onto the baler, so it again, saving you time and saving you money in that process. So Chase, I can tell that you're very excited about a lot of these upgrades. Is there anything else that kind of stands out to you about this new baler and where you think farmers can really, help out their operation?
Yeah, so we've increased automation. And this is one thing I failed to mention. So with the baler automation now, we can run it in any tractor, and that's why we have our round baler hooked to a 4250 just right down here, is to show that we understand that some customers don't all operate brand new tractors, but we want them to get some of that technology in place and to feel some of that automation that we're providing. So we can do that with older tractors. What we can do is, as they make the round bale, it's going to be to the size they want. It's going to alert them in the cab. They stop. It's automatically going to wrap that round bale. And the key is here, it's going to automatically cycle the gate open and close it. And then they simply take off and move down the field. We've seen those prematurely open the gate and they got a mess, right? There's hay all over. They got to stop. Also, we've seen a decrease in time needed to go through that process. So they're increasing performance as they move through the field, just quickly wrapping the bale, cycling the gate on its own, and they're moving forward.
Chase, a lot to take in today with this new piece of impressive equipment and all of the technology we've been talking about. And it all goes back to, as well, partially what we've been talking about today of upgrading that technology and just what that does for your bottom line on the farm. And this all ties into it.
Absolutely does. And you can visit Deere.com or their local John Deere dealer to find out more information. We'll have full availability of these balers next year with spring of 2024 delivery.
And then my final question, are there any compatibility issues? Is there a way to find out if you can run this baler with your existing equipment?
Yeah, I don't foresee any compatibility issues, but if they have questions on that, they can visit Deere.com, and then the local John Deere dealer will have all their information they need.
Chase Milem, our guest at Farm Progress Show 2023, Decatur, Illinois. Chase, thanks so much for taking the time to tell us about this new baler. I can tell you're excited about it. Best of luck going forward.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you once again to Chase Milem of John Deere. Let's turn our attention now to the ag weather outlook. Well, it's Friday, but I think today is the first time this fall that I've said it does feel like fall. Pretty cool on my way to work here this morning. Did not dip down, I don't think, into the freezing area here in central Iowa, but it did get a little bit cooler for sure as we were in the 40s last evening. And that's going to be the case again here tonight. Doesn't look like too much in the way of moisture chances, precipitation chances. And then as we turn to tomorrow, it will be a beautiful day outside. When you look out your windows, will be a little bit chilly when you do finally step outside, though, as it will feel like fall once again. So let's turn our attention now to the National Weather Service and what's in store for the next 24 hours.
As you can see from the National Weather Service, increasing clouds and breezy today. Showers in eastern Iowa, highs expected 50 to 59. For tonight, partly cloudy and breezy with some areas of patchy frost, lows expected 32 to 40. For Saturday, mostly sunny, high temperature range of 56 to 61. And now as we take a look at our affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee, frost and then sunny with a high of around 56. Shenandoah, areas of frost, then sunny, high around 61. Des Moines, sunny and 60 on Saturday. Albia, sunny and 60. Waterloo, mostly sunny with a high around 59. Clinton, sunny and a high around 59.
And that does it for the Ag Weather Outlook here on Ag Matters PM, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also find all of our video content on our YouTube channel, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Also click on that notification icon as well. That will let you know whenever we have any new videos available for you. And don't forget our free twice daily market podcasts, which are found on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.